Hey, good morning. It's Saturday. Welcome to today's episode of Illegal Formation here on the Inside Edge Network. We are brought to you by LPB Productions, as always. I got a really exciting show for you guys today, man. We have our first guest in the history of Illegal. We've had some inside, Edge guests before. We've got our first guest from outside the Inside Edge Network today. Our guest, listen, I played Division II football at Glenville State under Rich Rodriguez. TK, remember Rich Rod? Of Michigan, well, Michigan infamy, I guess. If we're Buckeyes fan, we should probably call it. It's infamy. It's not fame, right? Rich Rod, man, a lot of Michigan memories from that time. Anyway, he is the head coach at Beaver Eastern High School in Pike County. Is the head man of the Eagles. Not only the head coach, I'm gonna let him tell the story mostly for the most part. But listen, built the program from the ground up in 2012. When he was hired, they didn't even have a football program. Had nothing. They were a basketball school. Had no football program at all. Small school, Southern Ohio. Built the whole thing from the ground up. Please welcome Beaver Eastern head coach Scott Tomlison to the show. Coach Tomlison, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
Oh, not bad. How you guys doing?
Not bad. Coach, this is TK. This is my co-host, TK Dandridge. I'm Chad Bryan. Our names are down here on the screen.
Nice to meet you, TK.
Hide the banner. There we are. There you see Beaver Eastern High School head coach. Coach Tomlison, just kind of go through this, man. This story fascinates me, man. I mean, it's one thing to get hired in as a head coach and try to rebuild a program or even try to keep a program going that's had some recent success or whatever. I mean, that sounds stressful to me. Let alone trying to build a program from the ground up, man. Just tell me a little bit, like just from 2012 when you got hired, how that whole process went.
Well, just actually starting in the beginning, a cousin of mine, he was the superintendent up at a school around Cincinnati somewhere, and he was moving back home to take a superintendent job at Beaver Eastern. He was talking about how much he enjoyed on Friday nights, walking the sidelines, high school football games, and it was sad that Eastern didn't have a football program. And so I got to kicking it around and said, well, I'd be willing to come out there and start one. Let's start one. And he said, it's been tried before. A couple of guys have tried it in the past, but we just don't have enough students. We don't have, it's not big enough school, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, give me 2 years to try it, see if we can get some numbers, get everything up and going. So I went and talked to the school board. He set me up with a school board meeting. I told him, give me 3 years. And mind you, there's no football field here. There's just a field with a track around it. Terrible field. It was like a bowl. They would try to have soccer. Maybe 1 year would have it. Next year they wouldn't. Just not enough kids. About 60 kids in our graduating class every year. I think even now we're down in the 50s. So I went to the school board. I said, give me 3 years. You will not have to put one penny into it. I just need to use that little field beside the track, and we'll do all away games. You don't have to give us a bus. So so that's how I started it up. I said the school board said they didn't think we could do it. So if you can show us that you have the numbers, in 3 years, we'll start putting money into this thing and take it over. So I said, all right. So this was about, this was right at the end of the school year. So I started fundraising. I had to fundraise to raise everything to get started this program. Decided I would start it with the youth league first. So I went down. We did signups. We did a 5th and 6th tackle team, and we did a 7th and 8th junior high. So, and I was in another school district at the time. So I've got 4 kids. Gave my kids the option to stay in the school district they were in, or they could come with me. I said, I don't know if the thing's going to work out or not, because I got 3 boys that all played football.
Yeah,
and they all wanted to come with me. So took the family, uprooted them, took them to this new school district. And then it was just fundraising, man. It was like we were doing anything and everything. I actually started it. I met this guy had a sporting goods store, and he told me he would give me a line of credit. I'd have to pay it off in 60 days. And mind you, we had nothing. And so I went and talked to the fairgrounds, and the fairgrounds let me rent this building we had the big Pike County Fair was coming up.
Okay.
Man, I bet I could probably make a few $1,000s. So I rounded up a bunch of parents, some of my coaches that we were getting started with, and we rented this fair booth. And I went ahead and bought the equipment. Didn't have the money to pay it yet. Bought the equipment on 60-day line of credit. And this old man come out in a white van out on our practice field. He dropped, he dropped helmets off and helped fit the kids, this, that, and the other. And then a lot of other schools started jumping in as we got going and donating some older stuff to us, some old equipment. But that's how we actually got started. Like we made $9,000 in 1 week at the fairground, and that paid off that first 60-day line of credit to get the 5th and 6th grade and the 7th and 8th grade outfitted, get them some cheap jerseys to get started. And then the fundraising just rolled from there. Parents started jumping in, and we did that for 2 years. For 2 years, we ran just a 5th and 6th and a junior high team.
Okay.
And did a lot of fundraising. Just raised, in a 3-year span, probably raised close to $150,000-$200,000 without a penny from the school.
Wow.
After 2 years, our very first year, our very first junior high team went 6-2. Our 5th and 6th grade team won the little league that we put them in. Okay. And the following year, our junior high team went 7-1, and our Pee Wee team was successful again. And then so the whole community started really like, oh wow, maybe we can do this.
Yeah.
So the school actually, after 2, and again, our junior high team, it was just there was no bus. We were going all the way games, parents just like you in youth league, driving kids there.
It's the caravan, man.
Yeah. So the school, after 2 years, decided, you know what, we don't need a 3rd year. We'll go ahead and we'll start helping you out. But we still didn't get a bus, so we started a JV team. The 3rd year is like, well, I'm gonna start a JV team. I don't want these junior high kids playing 2 years, and then all of a sudden they can't play high school football. Mm-hmm. So we started a JV team, and again, JV high school team, no bus. We're parents, taking them kids, driving these JV games, and they're still all the way games because we just have a field with a track around it, no goalposts, no nothing. Then after that 3rd year, our JV team went 6-1, I think 7-1. So then the school decided, okay, well, they started to build some stuff. We started to get a concession stand there, and we I don't know if you guys up north have heard of Willersburg High School down here. It's a big powerhouse here. They won a couple state championships. They were building a new stadium.
Real quick, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
They were building a new stadium, and they donated their goalposts. So we went and got their goalposts and just started just piecing this thing together. Didn't have a real locker room until about year 5. They built this concession stand, and they had storage in the back for like the mowers and stuff around the school. And our kids were actually, for 2 years, our kids actually dressed in the back of that concession stand for practices. No lockers. They just had little piles of equipment here and there. Just out the back of basically a garage, a storage shed. We still couldn't host home games because we had nowhere for the away team to come. And then the radio jumped on board. That first year, that JV, the radio jumped on board. They wanted to come out and do one of our JV games at home. I'm like, well, we don't have bleachers, we don't have anything, so we went and got a trailer, and we stuck the radio up on this little flatbed trailer, and we went and rented generators. We wanted to do a night game so we went and rented generators. We had three of those lights running on generators up each sideline, and we had a parent at halftime. A parent had to go fill them back up with diesel. And we had those generators running so we could have a night game, and people were just lined up along the fence. Still didn't have bleachers yet. Still lined up along the fence, sitting in chairs watching this JV night game with lights running on a generator.
I love it.
And it kept growing. Like, so the next year, the school went ahead and built some bleachers. Then we built a locker room, and just every year the school would jump in and give me one new piece, and we just built it slow. We just finished our 11th varsity season. Probably the first 8 years, we bounced around between 20 and 25 kids every year. This year, we just finished up with 38 kids on our roster. Should have maybe in the mid-40s next year. We've won our conference the last 4 years in a row. We're on a 32-game regular game winning streak. Played in a regional final 2 years ago. And we're finally getting it built. After 11 years, finally getting it to where we need to be and sustain it. So.
Yeah, it's the amount of determination. I mean, like you said, it takes everybody, right? They say it takes a village, Coach. I mean, it literally takes a village. Even outside the village, right?
Even to this day, I mean, like I said, we're a small school with not much money. Just the continuous fundraising and stuff that it takes. And the school's been behind it 100%. The community's been behind it 100%. Without all that, we'd have never been able to never been able to make it. So
yeah. I'm going to put a map up here just to let everyone know where you guys are located down in Pike County, down in Southern Ohio. I cooked something up in Photoshop real quick this morning, man.
yeah.
But yeah, I just want to let them know where you're located. And then I was just, it's interesting to me, like you not only small, lower numbers, building the program from the ground up, but you guys, like your students have maybe some concerns, some struggles that a lot of other school districts don't really deal with, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
You guys have some things.
We have a lot of kids. We have a lot of kids that live with grandparents, aunts. Parents aren't in the picture. Assistant coaches and myself, having to pick up 2 or 3 kids before practice, take kids home after practice. Sometimes making sure kids have meals, whatnot. It's a different world, a little different world down there.
Yeah, and now I am looking at you guys. You had a quarterback last year. It looks like Eric Manley Jr.
Yeah,
wide receiver Boston Webb. They're in the OHSAA record books now officially, right? 10 passing touchdowns for your quarterback Manley, and 10 receiving touchdowns in a game for Boston Webb. That's crazy. You run a wide, pretty much just a spread offense, right? Now most people think small school, low numbers. Let me get this off here. Small school, low numbers. We're gonna run the wing tee, whatever, triple option. There's a school around us, Chardon, that was pretty famous for running an old school offense for a long time. And if you execute it, it can work, right? But you guys run a spread offense, right?
Yeah. Our offense actually is. I said we're pretty wide open. We run a lot. Like I said, I stole a lot from my college stuff back in the days with Coach Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And as a coach, we stole some stuff we liked from Urban Meyer. We stole some stuff we liked from Gus Malzahn. We've kind of put this offense together. And like I said, we started running this offense with the Pee Wee kids. So even when I first started in 5th and 6th grade, we was the only youth team in the area to be in the shotgun, 4 wide. We run it from the youth league all the way up, and we still do that to this day. So we give the youth league a little package. Then they get to junior high, we give them a little bigger package. When they get to high school, they know the language, they know the base parts of our systems. So it works out well for us. But no, we are a wide open. Like I said, as a coach, you look at those records, you think, man, how in the world did a quarterback throw 10 touchdowns in one game? How's that ever even happen? But then we got into a shootout with another good team in our conference. It ended up being a basketball score. And yeah, our quarterback Eric, he threw for 10 touchdown passes that night. And then Boston Webb, like I said, he broke Eric tied the record. Boston actually broke the record. He owns it by himself, 7 touchdowns in one game. So it was a pretty crazy night. Eric, he's a cool story in himself. He's 6'6", 240. He had never played any sports in his life. He moved down here from Columbus. His family moved down here from Columbus in, I think, the 8th grade, junior high. We couldn't get him to play any sports. He'd never played any sports. Came out his freshman year, talked him into playing football, came out for a couple weeks and quit, disappeared on us. So we got this 6'4", at that time, 6'4", 6'5" kid walking down the hallway, athletic as can be, and won't play sports. And an assistant coach got in his ear, talked him to come back out his sophomore year. Now this kid's legit 6'6", sophomore year, probably about 210. And we put him at wide receiver. So we'd make him a tight end, 6'6". Didn't have the greatest hands. One day he was running a fade down the sideline, dropped the ball, turned around, and he threw the ball back about 60 yards. I looked at the assistant coach and I said, not a receiver. I said, let's start making him a quarterback. And again, this kid had never played sports in his life, ever. He was trying to make him a quarterback. Shout out to my assistant coach, Evan Ferguson. He worked with him in the off season, inside, took him to a quarterback coach. Make a long story short on him, he went from being a backup wide receiver his sophomore year, really not playing, to starting his junior year for us and throwing over 40-some touchdowns his junior year, 3,000 yards. Had a huge coming out party in his first year ever starting in a high school sport. Wow. And then this year followed it up with another huge season. He committed to Rio Grande. Rio Grande started a football program down here last year.
Okay.
NAIA, small school. And he committed to go there. It's close to home. Thinks he may even go there and play early and just see how that goes. So, yeah, he's moving on to play college ball next year. So,
wow.
But the whole story, like I said, the kid has never even played. That's why I told his coach, I'm like, you don't understand his ceiling, like his potential. Like he has legit only played 3 years of high school ball, and his sophomore year, he really didn't play. He sat as a backup wide receiver.
Yeah. That's crazy to come in and have success as a quarterback too. I mean, I usually think, okay, guys playing football for the first time, let's put him at defensive end, let him run after the quarterback, right? Like that's you could do that. If you're gonna put him on offense, like you said, tight end, maybe running back. Running back's probably the easiest position to plug somebody into for the first time.
Right.
Starting at quarterback is wild, and then throwing over 40 touchdowns his first year starting. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously won the conference that year. You said you've won the conference 4 years in a row, right?
We finished up we just went up for the fourth year in a row. So
amazing. So what does the school board say now? They've got to be pouring assets in now, right? Right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm happy with you.
We were always known as a basketball school. Like I said, it was really hard. Those first few years, even up till just a few years ago, it was really hard to get. Like, there's parents in the community like, my kid's not playing football because I don't want to get hurt for basketball, and it was all about basketball, and it was kind of neat. Like being we had a school board meeting where the team got recognized there a few weeks ago, a month ago, or whatever, and the school board president said, God, it's kind of weird now that we are now known throughout the state as a football school who plays basketball.
Yeah.
So we've kind of. And we encourage kids to play all sports. I coach basketball there, coach baseball. I've coached all three sports there, but it's pretty cool now to start to get some football recognition, and people see us that we're finally starting to get some recognition for football as well. So
that's amazing. I think that says a lot about you and your resolve, and like you said, just determination of starting from nothing. I mean, I didn't have you guys are playing home games now, right?
Oh yeah, we've been playing home games now for about since we officially went varsity 11 years ago. There's just those first three to 4 years that we didn't have home games. So
yeah, that's crazy. To me, this is such a cool story. I mean, and like you said, I think that's the blueprint in a lot of successful communities, especially smaller communities. It's building from the youth programs up, right, and just having that consistency and that continuity. Where some towns have 3 or 4 youth teams, and that's fine. They're bigger towns. But every team runs a different offense and runs a different defense. And then you kind of funnel those kids together in the middle school, and then you have a different offense. And then you get to high school and you have a different offense, and by the time you get to varsity, you're so confused. I think what you guys did is perfect. I mean, just having, like I said, that consistency all throughout the program is the best way to learn.
Oh, it is a big key to our success. Like I said, when I hire a new Pee Wee coach, if I hire a new junior high coach, he knows coming in, like, hey, you're not going out there and doing your own stuff. You're not going to be an outlaw and do this and this. You're going to run our stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to coach, come in and coach these kids, but you're going to be running our stuff. You're going to run our defense. You're going to run our calls, use our language. If we change stuff, we change our language, we change something, we make sure our junior high and our Pee Wee coaches know about it. So, yeah, and that's key. There's a couple schools around here do that. I've been doing, and I've seen their success. So I just kind of patterned it, nothing new, just kind of patterned it off the good programs. That's the way they run it. That's the way they do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I don't see another way to do it. My high school program was a little bit different. We had, you had a different offense. Your 7th, 8th grade year, you learned something different. Your freshman, by the time you got to, you're so confused,
Right.
But your kids, I mean, by the time they get to their sophomore, junior, senior year, I would imagine all that stuff is just second nature. You barely even have to think anymore.
Right. Yeah. You just play fast. You've been doing it since they start playing tackle here in 5th grade. They've been doing it since, most of them been doing it since 5th and 6th grade year. So then they can just play. They don't have to think.
Okay. We lost TK for a moment here. I'll get him back in just a moment. I was gonna switch gears on you a little bit because you're a Steelers fan, right?
I am.
Okay, well, we are Browns fans up here, unfortunately. So
I got Browns fans here in my house too.
It happens. It's a polarizing thing. It's a divided area. There's TK back. TK, I was gonna relate to you. We're both changing coaches right now. We're doing it in a little bit different styles. The Browns and Steelers. We're used to this. Okay, as Browns fans, we see a new coach like on average probably every 2.5 seasons since they came back in 1999. Hasn't been a lot of continued success. It makes me laugh when I see people on social media say, well, hey, the Browns have had more recent success than the Steelers.
Right.
Okay, listen, the Browns won one playoff game against the Steelers. Let's pump the brakes on the more recent success because I want to start with watching Mike Tomlin go after 19 seasons. I don't know what it even would feel like to have a coach for 19 seasons. The Browns have never had that, not in their history entirely. Even when they were good, right? Even when they were good, it didn't happen. But you watch Tomlin go 193 and 114, and the Steelers hire Mike McCarthy. Now, We know the Steelers have had 3 head coaches since the 60s.
Right.
Coach, Mike McCarthy's not going to be there for 20 years, is he? He's not going to coach until
I hope not. I wasn't real thrilled with the hire. I was hoping for one of the young grab one of these young up and coming coordinators that, like I said, get one of those young guys that would come in and be there for another 20 years. I love Mike Tomlin, huge Mike Tomlin fan.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it was time. I'm glad how it all worked out. He kind of got to leave on his own terms. I felt like it was time for a change. I mean, you're in a place that for that long. I felt like it was time for a change, and we needed something different. But I don't think I hope I'm wrong. I don't think Mike McCarthy was the answer, because now we're probably going up with Aaron Rodgers another year. I'm ready for the Will Howard experiment. Let's give him a year, see what he can do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't feel like the right hire for us.
Hey, listen, you're not saying anything we don't say every 2.5 seasons over here, man. We're always like, we don't know. I mean, the difference is, I think the 2 organizations are in a completely different place. Like the Steelers franchise feels like, I mean, it's the Rooneys, right? They know what they're doing. They understand football. They understand everything on the field, off the field, around the field. They seem to get it right every time, no matter what. The Browns are a little bit different. It starts with ownership, and you would think that, we've got Jimmy Haslam who operated. He was a minority owner under the Rooneys. You would think that he had the opportunity to learn from that family, but clearly, I think sometimes with these billionaires, ego gets in the way, and they think they have a better way of doing things or whatever it is.
I mean, y'all had it going on until you got rid of Baker. Like, I could cheer for you when you had Baker, but when y'all got rid of Baker, I think everything just went downhill.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, when you give a record contract to a guy who hasn't played in the NFL for almost 2 seasons.
There you go. There you go.
And now they've done another thing. Is they've priced themselves out of the quarterback market because they changed that market financially, right? So now the rest of the NFL has to pile on.
Yep.
And now where are we? Now we need a quarterback, and we can't afford one, so we got to try to develop from within. Not something we're good at all. I mean, not something we've been good at ever, really. They got lucky with Bernie Kosar back in the 80s. Let's be perfectly honest.
Right.
They got lucky once with Derek Anderson. He had one good season here. And then they finally got it right with Baker Mayfield. And they said, you know what? And listen, I can admit maybe Baker Mayfield needed to go somewhere else and mature a little bit. Maybe he needed to grow, but why couldn't he have grown here? Right. Like,
yeah, he was getting close. He was there.
Well, and then we had Odell Beckham's dad making YouTube videos, and I always make the joke he got way more views than I get on my YouTube channel. I'm jealous about that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, we had Odell Beckham's dad making YouTube videos showing how Baker Mayfield wasn't throwing the ball to his son, and then it all fell apart. He's yelling, "Come get me on the sidelines!" And
right,
we are in 2026, and we hired Todd Monken. I mean, as a Steelers fan, when you see Todd Monken go from the Ravens offensive coordinator over to the Browns as the head coach, I mean, how does that make you feel? You feel like you feeling pretty good going forward? Or I mean, I know you're leery about Mike McCarthy, but how do you feel about Todd Monken as the Browns coach?
I mean, he did some good stuff there with the Baltimore offense for a few years.
Yeah.
And you guys have the defense. You need to open the offense up.
Yeah.
I don't like. I think y'all should have found a way to keep Schwartz.
Yeah.
I will see how that works out. Is that defense going to be the same when the new defense coordinator comes in? Are there going to be some guys not want to play there now and want to go somewhere else? So that'll be interesting to see how the whole DC thing plays out for y'all.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Definitely think Monken can open the offense up a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. And well, listen, I think it's easier when you have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Mark and Zay Flower. When you have these guys, it's a little bit easier to have a more explosive offense than Jerry Jeudy and company. I mean, I'm not really sure what's going on with Jeudy. I mean, he had potential at one point, but
and then just kind of hands problems all of a sudden. Yeah.
It happens in Cleveland. Maybe it's the wind coming off the lake. I don't know, Coach. I'm not really sure what's going on up here, but we can't get a receiver. Right. We had Josh Gordon at one time. That was what could have been, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been a lot of what could have beens with the Browns. TK, you got to – I mean, who do you think they're going to hire as a defensive coordinator? You think they're going to bring somebody over from the Ravens, TK, just while we're talking about it? Oh, you're on mute, buddy. There you go.
Well, I don't exactly think they're going to intend to hire more people from the Ravens to fill out their defensive staff. I definitely think our linebackers coach, Jason Tarver, is definitely well equipped to handle that job. He was the defensive coordinator for the Raiders back in 2012.
Okay.
Did that for 3 years. Not to mention he's been our linebackers coach for the last 6 seasons.
Right.
I definitely think with getting great play from guys like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, obviously getting a career year out of Devin Bush this year, and
Yeah.
obviously the reigning defensive rookie of the year, Carson Schlesinger. So it shows that he can tutor and be somewhat of a solid aspiration for these young players. And when you have great players like Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Carson Schlesinger,
Yeah.
Mason Graham, Grant Delpit, it makes being a coordinator or any type of coach that much easier. Like we have said multiple times this offseason, the defense was not the problem for the Cleveland Browns in 2025, which is exactly why Jim Schwartz did not get the job. More than likely, the biggest reason he didn't get the job is we didn't need to improve the defense. Granted, everything could always use improvement. When you allow 22 points a game with an offense as horrible as what ours was last year, that becomes somewhat of a miracle because there were some games where we should have lost like 61-10.
Yeah.
And then we only ended up losing them, 41-17 or, possibly, giving up only 30 points. So it's a true testament to how great those players are on the other side of the ball. And, it hurts that Jim is gone, but at the same time, Todd has already said, we're keeping the system here. I definitely think Jason Tarver has some heat. Our safeties coach, Ephraim Banda, is also gaining a little bit of heat as well. I've heard multiple reports of Philadelphia Eagles Corey Unden possibly being a target. He's a guy that specializes in multiple schemes. He'll do the base 4-3. He'll also switch to a 3-4. He'll also play a little bit of 4-2-5. That nickel is what's really important to me, especially with the defensive backs that we have. We might be in the field in the draft for another defensive back, possibly safety. So anything can happen. So right now it's just Tarver being the lead candidate in my mind. Obviously Ephraim Banden, Corey Unden. There was definitely some talk of Matt Burke, the Houston Texans defensive coordinator currently. I don't think he leaves Houston, but he was definitely a name that was being thrown around. So
I wouldn't want to leave the defense in Houston at all. I mean, they're extremely good too, man. Yeah,
that defense is absolutely incredible. So there's absolutely no reason to depart from Houston, Texas anytime soon.
Listen, I just wouldn't want to work. I wouldn't want to work for Jimmy Haslam, to be perfectly honest with you. Just that I would do anything. I would go out to I'd coach the Raiders, the Cardinals, or something first before I wouldn't do that.
Freeze your ass off and deal with incompetence. Yeah, I'll pass.
Hey, but if they can wait 5 years, we're gonna have a brand new building. So, Coach, listen, in 5 years, we get you can come into a brand new indoor building and kick our asses, and that'll be fun.
There you go.
Although I will say the Browns the last few years have had some success against the Steelers. It's weird.
They have.
It's really weird, but I mean, overall, we'll be perfectly honest. I mean, the Steelers are by far the better franchise. If you had if you made me pick today, and not to be a fan, but if you made me pick and say, hey, you can work for one franchise going forward, and your success depends on your pay, man, I'm going to Pittsburgh. Sorry, I mean that's just they have it established.
Stability.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd have to still pick Cleveland, but I would just rob Jimmy Haslam in secrecy. Click my back.
Just the Pilot Flying J, the expired coupons or whatever. Coach, I want to get back to you for a second because you have some kids that have played college football, right?
Yes, I do. So my oldest son, he took the JUCO route. He went to Iowa Western for a year. Didn't quite get the offers that he had wanted. He had a few offers. Waited too long. At that time, that was probably 7 years ago. There wasn't a transfer portal yet.
Yeah.
He just waited too long. He tried. He was waiting on West Virginia. He was waiting on a couple other schools.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he realized West Virginia wasn't going to offer, he called Iowa State, called some of the other places. They're like, dude, sorry, but everything's we're full now. Everything's closed up.
Yeah.
So he almost went to Ashland, almost went the D2 route, and then he decided last second. He's like, Dad, he said, I think I want to go to JUCO for a year, see if I can't open up some more stuff. It's like, okay, well, we got a hold of Iowa Western. Worked out great for him. He went out there, played a year of JUCO in Iowa, had a good season there. then ended up signing with UMass. And again, so because of how his high school recruiting went and losing those offers at last second, he jumps on the very first school to offer was UMass, and he jumped on it, committed. The very next day, Toledo calls him, wanted to know if he wanted to come to Toledo. I'm like, oh man, it's like, could have been driving up to Toledo instead of 14 hours to UMass. That'd have been nice, but he had already committed and he wanted to stay loyal, so he went off to UMass and had a great career there. He was on the Remington watch list, I think, his sophomore year for one of the top centers in the country.
Nice.
Started 4 years there. Then they got that COVID year, and he had graduated from UMass, so he decided he wanted to. He went down and played at Western Carolina for 1 year, and got his master's down there. Moved back home, got a teaching job, and he's been my O-line coach for the last 3 years, and a huge reason we've been 10-0 for the last 3 regular seasons is him taking over the O-line and helping in the running game. He's a kind of a run game coordinator, O-line guy. So yeah, he had a really good college career, and then I am lucky and blessed to have him come back home and coach for me.
Yeah.
Youngest son has decided to take his path, and now with the portal, and now we got the portal, so it's like, I've got 4 kids off of this year's team that are going to play college ball. I got 2 going to Marietta, our quarterback going to Rio Grande, and now my youngest son has decided to go the JUCO route. And it's funny, if I look back 7 years ago, my quarterback would have probably been at least an FCS kid. But nowadays quarterbacks, they're not taking high school quarterbacks unless you're one of the nationally ranked guys. They're taking them out of the portal. They're getting portal guys, and then like the 2 kids that went to Marietta, one of them probably could have been an FCS kid, and then my youngest son, he's an O lineman, and he'd have probably been a MAC kid, a G5 type player. The portal just kills it. Portal is killing the high school recruiting right now.
Yeah.
So he decided to go the same route as the oldest son. He's seen it. He's going to go out to Butler Junior College out in El Dorado, Kansas.
Yeah.
14 hours away again. I got to go 14 hours to watch him play. And
either way, you got to go 14 hours. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. So, but we're hoping he goes there for just a year, is able to get out, get somewhere good, and have a career that the oldest son had. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I've been lucky to have success with coaching, being able to coach them in this new program. They've helped a lot, and then it's pretty cool to watch them go on and have success. So we'll see how this youngest one does. He's very driven. I think my oldest son hates to admit it. He's probably a little better than my oldest son at this point. So we'll see how his career goes. But
yeah, well, best of luck to him. I think I think a lot of people don't really understand just how big the junior college game is in Kansas. I mean, there are so many different the number of programs.
I didn't understand. Like being from our area, being from like Ohio, I didn't really like when my son first said, "Dad, I think I want to go the JUCO route." We didn't know anything about the JUCO route. He didn't really know anything about the JUCO route. So we started looking at it, and like I said, Iowa Western that year, I think they finished 10-1 or 11. Like I went out and watched some of their games, and it was like their entire starting offensive line besides him were all P4, they call it nowadays. They're all bounce backs. One was from Florida State, one was from Kansas, one was from Miami. They're all the guys that flunked out there, didn't make it for whatever reason. It was like watching a daggone division. Those bigger JUCOs like watching a daggone D1 game. I couldn't believe it. There was it was pretty cool. And like you said, so this Butler JUCO. The reason we picked Butler, they have a coach there that played center in the NFL for a while. He sent 7 guys to Division I last year. Well, you can only start 5. So this dude sent all 5 starters plus the 2 backups that was coming in rotating off the bench to Division I schools. So so nowadays, that's why I tell people around here, say if you're a high school kid and you're not getting what you want, and you've got the size, you still got to have the size, the speed, you got to have that stuff too. But take the JUCO route. If you're not afraid to go away from home, go away from home, bet on yourself, take the JUCO route. If you can make it through the JUCO route, it'll pay off at the end. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think the percentage of kids that go on to play is so low that people want to act like unless you go to a like you said, a P4 school, somehow some people think that that's not. I don't understand that mindset at all. I mean, if you
Right.
are able to move on, if you've got anyone, Division III, I don't care. I played Division III baseball. If you've got anyone interested in you at any level, I think that's amazingly successful. So it takes a commitment, man. That's great, man. I love the story. Like I said, I've wanted to have you on for a while. Just building the program from the ground up, like I said, is so mind blowing to me. I mean, and just like when you talk about how you pieced it together, I love building Legos with my kids, but sometimes I get stressed out. I'm like, all right, we're on like page 4. I can't imagine piecing together an entire high school football program. I mean, especially at a small school. It's not like you guys are a D1 school where you've got, okay, we have a football program and 125 kids come out and you're trying to pick the best athletes. Yeah. I mean, like you said, 40, 50, 60, maybe, kids in a graduating class. Then you split that between boys and girls. And I mean, you're talking about really low numbers, and you guys have got, it sounds like half the school on the football team now.
Now we do. Now, like I said, those first few years, there's times we'd start the season with 22. We'd finish with 17. I mean, it was rough, but we were lucky. Like, we didn't really start out the first year. I think we were 3-7. So I mean, our first ever varsity season, you expect to go 0-10. We were 3-7, and we were in many ball games. The second year we jump out and we're 500. The next few years we're 500. We were 6-4 one year. So it's like we were lucky enough to come out and win enough games to keep our community behind us. I think if we'd have came out and been 0-20 the first 2 years, it might have been a different story. But we were able to win enough games where the community was behind us. They kept buying into our fundraisers. They would come to the games to support the kids, and the school kept supporting it. So, those first few years were crucial. And like I said, there's so many storylines. Our first locker room was my ex-father-in-law's garage. Like I kept everything in his garage. I didn't have any place to put the tackling dummies and all of our stuff. It's like the school didn't have that place for me, so I would keep it. He had a big garage, and I would just keep everything in his garage. And I would load my car up with the tackling dummies and everything we needed for that day, and I just shuttle it back and forth in the my pickup or my whatever. And then this first few years, it was just piecing things together and just trying to keep it alive. So
that's so impressive to me, and I'm glad it's worked out. I'm a baseball guy, but there's nothing like the atmosphere of Friday night football, especially, maybe I'm biased because I grew up and I've lived in Ohio all my life, but it just seems like Ohio high school football. I was blessed to be able to cover high school football for a season. I was doing a little journalism, whatever, for a website up here. And just to go around, it just reminded me of just how cool that environment is, and just like the atmosphere.
Especially small school. Like our town shuts down. It's still, when we come out, we have this big blow up eagle, and we come out of our locker room a couple minutes before the game, and all the kids go into this tunnel, this blow up eagle, and they come out of, and I'll walk down the track, and I always just take that moment. I always just take that moment to stop and look into the stands and look up and down. Your stands are packed. You got people all around the fence, and the entire town, you just shut down coming to that game. I tell the kids that all the time. Like, even you guys that go off and play in college, it's going to be great. You're going to have a blast, but it's never going to be like these Friday night lights. It's something different. It's never going to be like this again. Like, soak it up and enjoy it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And I think that's such an important lesson. Just take the time to take it all in and try to remember the sights, the sounds, the smells, like just the way the grass smells, everything. I mean, everything, the concession stand, everything about it. It's
all different.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. Real quick, I'm going to get you. I want to talk to you about the Super Bowl. TK and I aren't going to make our Super Bowl picks today on the show because we have the Sunday Sports Show tomorrow with our buddy Ryan Moss. So we're going to go through all that. It'll be like 2 hours of wall-to-wall Super Bowl. We're talking prop bets and everything, all kinds of stuff, TK. Cool. We got a pick tomorrow, but I want to talk to you about the Super Bowl. But real quick, I'm going to tell you first, if Todd Monken and crew, listen, if they can't get this offense turned around in Cleveland, we're going to try to get this show clipped out. I'm going to get Jimmy Haslam to give you a call, man, because it sounds like you and your son have turned things around. 10-0, 3 straight seasons in regular season. You got the running game figured out, the spread offense, everything we need in Cleveland is going on right down there at Beaver Eastern. So there you go, Jimmy Haslam. You know what I mean?
We're on the same colors. Our school colors are orange and brown.
There you go. There's not even a transition. From high school to the pros, I don't even see. There's no transition there at all. There's nothing to get used to at all.
Make the jump.
Maybe a little more media, a little bigger locker room. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Really, the only difference. It's still football, right? Anyway, so at Levi Stadium tomorrow, I just saw this morning they were testing the fireworks. So assuming anything happens during the Super Bowl, could be a little bit of a defensive struggle. But assuming anything happens, I guess we'll have some fireworks. I heard the flyover got canceled for the Super Bowl. That's one of my favorite prop bets when people say like, will is the prop bet or is the flyover going to be on time or whatever? That used to be a prop bet. I guess it got canceled for some reason. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I don't know. We'll get into all the prop bet stuff tomorrow. But Seahawks Patriots. Okay, so the Patriots, boy, just a lowly franchise, years of struggling, right? They went through almost 2 full seasons where they were down.
Yeah, couple full seasons of losing.
You got to feel sorry for them a little bit, right? Because I mean, it's not like they've won 6 Super Bowls recently or anything. Jeez, I mean, it's amazing how you watch the Browns be down for 26 seasons, and the Patriots just bounced right back off the floor. And by the way, their head coach was in the building last year in Berea. They had him right there. Not that he ever would have agreed to take on this franchise or to work for the Haslams or do whatever it takes in Cleveland to be successful. But, he was right there in Berea. So that's a little frustrating for us to see too. But the Seahawks to me are a little bit of a machine. I mean, they're going well right now. Jackson Smith and Darnold's resurgence is just we talked about TK, you and I, we talk about Mike McDonald, their defense. What Mike McDonald does with defenses is amazing. I mean, we talk about Todd Monken's ability to kind of tailor, a system around the roster that you have. I don't think anyone's better in the NFL maybe than Mike McDonald at doing that on defense. I mean, he just takes whatever he's got and figures it out, right? Like, I mean, they primarily rush 4 guys, but they get all kinds of pressure on the quarterback. Listen, the Seahawks are a little bit of like I said, they're a monster right now. But Seahawks Patriots, Drake May almost won the MVP. Came close, right?
Yeah.
Lost out to Matt Stafford, probably rightfully so. I think Stafford deserved that.
I
don't think the Patriots played a top half defense in the NFL until they got the Broncos. In that snow game a couple weekends ago. So I think probably Stafford deserved that. But it's all things Patriots. I mean, it's like they're back, right? They've got a quarterback at the helm that he's not Tom Brady. Let's pump the brakes. People will compare him to Tom Brady. Don't do that. You can't. Let's just let Tom Brady be, right? Let Drake May be. Let's let them be their own guys.
He still has a way to go prove himself, but he's off to a great start.
Yeah, he's off to a great start, right? But what's your feeling on the Super Bowl? I mean, first of all, are you excited to watch it? Do you care about the commercials at all? I think the commercials are kind of fun.
I mean, I enjoy the commercials. And usually enjoy the halftime shows, and so when the Steelers aren't playing, then so I'm more in it for the commercials and the halftime show. But I mean, I think it's gonna be a great game. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a great game. Looking at what do I want to bet? Usually when you got everybody saying it's gonna be a defensive struggle, 2 great defenses. Well, usually when everybody talks like that, I go the over, just because that's usually how it rolls. When everybody thinks it's not going to be the over. I like the Seahawks, though. I think both defenses cancel each other out. I think the Seahawks are a little better on special teams. Wouldn't surprise to see a punt return for a touchdown or a kickoff return for a touchdown. They've got a few of them this year. It might be a prop bet that I go with. But I just think with the 2 defenses are going to cancel each other out, I feel like the Seahawks special teams has the edge. And I think there's a little more explosive on offense. I was kind of salty when Pittsburgh was in a conversation for Sam Darnold, and then we didn't go get him, and we bring in Aaron Rodgers, and I was kind of salty about that. I was wanting Sam Darnold, so with JSN, and I just feel like there's more weapons. They've got more weapons on offense, and with that and the special teams advantage, I think they'll be able to pull it out. So I'm probably going to Seattle.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell you if I disagree or I agree. You can find out tomorrow on the Sunday Sports Show. That's and I give our picks. But yeah, I agree with you in a certain. I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think anybody's thinking that anybody's gonna get blown out. These 2 teams are just. It surprises me a little bit, I guess, that we're at Seahawks Patriots. I mean, but back at the beginning of the season, we did a preview show for the NFL. TK, by the way, do you remember who did you pick? Who were your teams to go to the Super Bowl back on that preview show? I don't remember who you picked. I think you're on mute, buddy. There we go.
I don't even remember. I think I may have said Bills versus Packers. Something
that was my matchup. Yeah.
So I had butchered that horribly.
Well, And I really thought I didn't think the Chiefs were going to completely bow out of the entire thing, but I thought this was the year that Josh Allen would finally get by Patrick Mahomes.
I agree. I thought that for sure.
Yep.
And then let me ask you two. Bo Nix doesn't go down. Are we even talking Patriots right now?
No,
because I feel like if they kick the field goal and go up 10-0, even with the backup, kick the field goal, go up 10-0 there a couple weeks ago, and keep that momentum. I don't even know that New England beats them then.
Yeah, and then and then all the offense goes away. Yeah, I agree. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but listen, in a game that important, I don't think you don't leave points out there, right? Like you gotta
not that I don't know. I just I'm a lonely high school coach, but a snowstorm's coming, and you've got that information. The weather's getting ready to turn bad, and you can go up 10-0. I think I took the points.
I 100% agree.
And it kept the momentum, and then then maybe that fumble doesn't happen with the quarterback slinging it backwards, and then you're in business. But who knows?
I think week 3 at home, I think you try to score the touchdown. But the championship game, when you got a snowstorm coming, I think you try to you get the points, right? Yeah,
get the points. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was kind of a rough game. Will Lutz had a pretty horrible game that day. Sean Payton didn't call the greatest game either.
Right.
Jarrett Stidham playing his first action in almost 800 days. Yep. To only go down 10-7. Yeah, I definitely think Bo Nix makes a huge difference in that game.
Yeah.
No shade to Jarrett Stidham. He did what he could. But at the same time, I definitely think with 10 back there, it would have been a different game.
Right.
And listen, half the Broncos fans out there probably still want to move on from Bo Nix. I mean, all season it was like he didn't get the credit he deserved. Maybe it's actually the quarterback that I liked out of that draft class. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It's just for once I was finally right about a quarterback. I mean, geez, I'm wrong every year. It's like when it comes to picking quarterbacks, I'm the Browns, man. I have no idea how to. I feel like we get the eye test, but that doesn't matter with me. I'm always wrong. But for once, I was finally right. Bo Nix is pretty good. But I feel like you're right. TK Jarrett Stidham did what he did what he was asked to do. Right. No huge mistakes. Didn't turn the ball over 4 times. Like
had him in the game and gave him a chance to win.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for from a guy who hasn't played in what was like 2 years. I think he hadn't played in an NFL game. So
right,
or at least made a start. So I mean, I think I thought you did great. But I agree with you. You don't leave the points out there. You gotta take the points in that situation. But hindsight's always 20/20. It's whatever. I've never coached football. Other than running a couple dynasties on college football and like my my PS5 or something. So that's it. That's it for me. So I'm not allowed to judge. I just whatever. It is what it is. But no, I don't think. I think we'd be. I think it'd be Patriots Seahawks. It'd be a West Coast kind of flavor, which I don't know. Do you guys feel like the Super Bowl isn't really getting enough, or not enough, but it's just really not getting that much press? Like, I don't know if it's because it's an Olympic year or there's just so much else going on in the world right now that is distracting from everything. But it just feels like no one's talking about the Super Bowl. I mean, TK, just this morning, before the show, you were like, man, I almost forgot it was the Super Bowl this weekend. And I think I kind of did too. I mean, I know it's coming up. I just haven't thought about it very much, I guess. It's weird.
No, I mean, you're right. Like just a couple of days ago, I was sitting here and I was flipping through Sports Center at lunchtime and like you're expecting to see like the interviews and all the all the Super Bowls, and it's not. They're not doing that this year. It's not. I haven't seen a lot of stuff on TV with it. So
yeah,
kind of weird.
Yeah, and this is the hot take. Maybe I was just kind of thinking about the Patriots and how they got here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Patriots drop back to like 8-9, 9-8 next year and not really be the same kind of a football team. I don't
know. There's a lot of good young talent.
Yeah, but the way they just not playing a top flight defense. They're still NFL defenses. I mean, maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse or whatever, but I just feel like it probably depends on schedule, which by the way, schedule, hilarious. I got to get your take on this. So every year we send multiple games overseas, right? We're finally going to play a game in Paris. The NFL is going to Paris, right? Everything that is Paris, France, and we send the Browns and the Saints over there. What do we do? Like, people in Europe have to be like, this is football. Like, no wonder we don't play. This football stinks. Like, why do we keep sending our bet? What are we doing? Like, do we not want to send good teams overseas? What are we doing? I don't get it.
That's a good question. Yeah. We send the Browns.
Vikings, Browns last year. I mean, my goodness, man. You got JJ McCarthy stumbling against Dylan Gabriel. I mean, they have to be watching the game like, what is this?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's embarrassing. But that's okay. We're Browns fans. We're used to embarrassing. It's fine. I embrace it. Like I said, I think the Haslam's might be giving you and your family a call here in a couple of years and asking you to fix that offense. I don't know. We'll see what Todd Monken does. I guess I'm a little excited about it. He was the OC here in 2019, like you said, when Baker was here, and it went pretty well. And our buddy Ryan Mosser from the Sunday Sports Show and from the Commissioner's Couch here on the network, he keeps reminding me that everywhere that Todd Monken goes, someone has a career year. And, that's good. That's positive. That makes me feel a little better. But you got to find the quarterback, and hopefully Shedeur Sanders.
Open his store, right?
Yeah.
Open his store has a career year. Yeah.
I hope so. He seems like he's got the psychological makeup.
He's got the leadership. He's got, I think, he believes in himself. So
for sure. That's what it takes.
Half of it.
For some reason, people are afraid of confidence these days, but then, you want your quarterback to be a little confident in himself, right? You want that self-confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Can't play that position without it. So, all right. Well, listen, I think, TK, do you have anything, man?
Not much to add today. I just thought, this NBA trade deadline was pretty crazy. I definitely thought Washington, Utah, and Indiana did a great job of planning for the future. You usually don't see too many trade deadline moves that are, concerned with the future, but you saw a bunch of them this year. Obviously, the big one was Utah getting Jaren Jackson Jr. To slide in the front court with Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. And right now, just those three guys in the front court, they look like the Monstars in the first Space Jam, especially, you get those guys healthy next year.
Yeah.
And then you add that with a backcourt of Keontae George and Ace Bailey. My goodness. And then you move on to the Washington Wizards, who have done a pretty good job in the draft these past couple of years. Obviously nailing the second overall pick in 2024, Alexander Sarr. He's become the best rim protector in the NBA. You love what the sixth overall pick in this year's draft, Trey Johnson, has done for them. He's coming along very, very smoothly. He's the right-handed Michael Redd out there in D.C. Then you have a backcourt consisting of Treys, spelled differently, obviously. Trae Young and Trey Johnson. And then, you want to fill that front court, obviously Keyshawn George and the improvement that he has made, him being the starting three, getting a healthy Anthony Davis back next year and pairing that with Alexander Sarr. And obviously the Indiana Pacers netting Ivica Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers. Hey, listen, we all love Jay Huff. We love the reverse dunk glitch that he possesses. We hold.
I have that glitch too, by the way, the reverse dunk. It's got to be a 7-foot rim, but I can do it.
He has had a solid season as the Indiana Pacers starting center, but let's be honest, Jay Huff is not a guy that you want to trot out there 82 games a year as your starter, playing in excess of 25 minutes. You have that guy in Ivica Zubac, who has improved steadily, becoming having kind of a late career renaissance or resurgence, so to say, with the Los Angeles Clippers. And to see that pick and roll game with Tyrese Halliburton and him is going to be anything masterful. It's going to be a great show. Obviously, this is going to move Andrew Nembhard back to the shooting guard position. Pascal Siakam, Ivica Zubac, obviously, and then you're going to have to figure out who's going to be that small forward. You would think Aaron Nesmith is still in the lead despite being out with injury. And with the improvement of Jarris Walker, I don't necessarily think he's a 3. I think he's more suited to play the 4, but he can play the 3. Going to be a lot of questions there to figure out who's going to be that last piece. But yeah, a lot of future moves in the NBA.
You said a healthy Anthony Davis, TK. What's that look like? I don't even know.
I know. It's been so long since we've seen that. I don't think we've seen that since 2014 or 2015 when I was in my early 20s. So,
I don't even remember my early 20s, TK. I don't even. It's so long ago. It's like 100 years ago.
But yeah, man. Hopefully those guys come back. These teams look fantastic on paper. Obviously, the big trade that we got, clearing up cap space by getting rid of a 7-year veteran, Darius Garland. That was hard. Definitely an emotional move for a lot of us here in Cleveland. But, as far as the money being saved, it had to be done. He was due $86 million next year. James Harden is currently due $13 million for the rest of the season. I do believe the Clippers are going to pay a vast majority of that. And obviously, getting rid of Lonzo Ball, another move that kind of hurt me. I was hoping he would resurrect his career here. Coming off the bench. That shot just didn't fall. The defense is still there. The passing is still there. The playmaking is still there. That shot just didn't fall down. And I hope this isn't the end of Zoe, but it's looking somewhat like that. But other than that, a lot of looking towards next year moves were made this year. And that was my biggest takeaway from this trade deadline. I thought it was
a lot of just money dumps, really. I mean, it just seemed like teams just kind of dumping money, trying to stay off that second apron. Coach, are you an NBA guy at all?
Not until the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I don't follow the regular season much. When the playoffs start and they get serious, they play defense, then I start watching.
Yeah, it's funny how there are two completely different seasons. You're 100% right.
Oh yeah. Playoffs, they'll dive on the floor, they'll play D, but right now it's almost like an NBA All-Star game. It's just all offense.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see the first 200-point regular season game. It's probably not far off.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it's kind of it's gotten more difficult to watch sports. I mean, you have to pay for this streaming service and that streaming service.
Oh yeah.
For this team, for that league. You can't watch the out-of-market games, so you got to pay. It's wild. I mean, before you know it, you're paying $200, $300, $400 a year just to watch NBA games. And like you said, I have a hard time with the regular season. I love basketball. I played basketball. I love it. But it's just, man, they're even college basketball anymore. It's just for some reason, I think it's because I go on mental strike after college football is over. I'm a college football guy. I love college football.
Right.
So when that season ends, I'm like, all right, you can't make me watch sports. I don't care. I'll see you next August. I'll be back. I'll watch some baseball, obviously, but yeah, as far as college football goes, like it's tough. The regular season is just tough, and it's 82 games. Man, it feels a little like overkill sometimes. Like it feels like it just goes on forever, right? And then, right. Come on, like let's go. Let's just get to the playoffs, right? If the season ended today, let's end it today. Let's do 44 regular season games or whatever, maybe 50 games, and then we'll start the playoffs. We don't need 82 anymore. And by the way, everything in NBA is averages, but so it's not like football where you go, well, then what if you shorten the season? You don't have like 4,000 or 5,000 yard passers anymore. You can't have guys throwing for 40 touchdowns. Baseball, you shorten it. Nobody will ever hit 60 home runs again, right? All the purists come after you, but listen, basketball, it's all points per game anyway. Who cares if they play 82 games or if they play, 50? That way LeBron will be happy. Nobody will ever catch him. He'll have the scoring title forever. It's whatever. But yeah, I thought the Cavs, TK, to get to your point, trading for James Harden. I think Harden is probably a little more of a reliable scorer, reliable in the sense that he's going to be on the floor. Darius Garland was having some injury troubles. And then, like you said, all of that money, $86 million over however long to play 25, 30 games a season is tough. Everybody loved Darius Garland, but man, turf toe is a tough injury in the NBA. I mean, you're playing on hardwood floor. Whew. I mean, turf toe is tough in any sport. And then on top of that, you put them on a hard surface. That's nearly impossible to come back from. So I don't know. Well, listen, I think we're going to get out of here for the day. Coach, do you have any final words, anything you want to say before you jump off of here?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on today. I've enjoyed it, had a good time. I'll watch you guys here in the future. I might tune in tomorrow and see your Super Bowl picks, see who you guys are taking, if getting any prop bet tips. So thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you. I can't thank you enough, man. I know sometimes it's waiting for the link or whatever, just trying to get everything set up, but we appreciate your time, man. I know your time is valuable. You're probably wanting to do some family stuff today. So again, thank you so much for being on. Beaver East head football coach Scott Tomlison. By the way, Ryden, what did you say? A 32 regular game winning streak or regular season game?
32 regular game winning streak at the moment. So hopefully we can keep building on that.
Haslam's, are you listening? This guy knows how to win. I'm just saying. Coach, thank you so much for being on, man. I'm gonna get you off of here. And we'll close out with TK. But again, thank you. So you're a friend of the network, man. You're a friend of the Inside Edge Network.
Awesome.
Yeah, feel free to watch tomorrow. We'll get your comments up on screen, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow. All right.
All right. You guys have a good one.
All right. You too, Coach. Thanks a lot. All right, TK. What do you think, man? We got Super Bowl stuff tomorrow. Do not miss the show tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss the Sunday Sports Show. If you're watching, if you're planning on tuning in for that, I know there's not going to be a ton of Brown stuff. We'll get into it. We'll mention some coaching stuff. We got to talk about Jim Schwartz finally sending in his resignation. That chapter is over for Browns. That's settled. We now know that Jim Schwartz is out as the defensive coordinator. Listen, it's a sad end. It's I don't know, TK. It's a pretty unceremonious ending to Jim Schwartz, and just thinking about what he did here for this defense and what he did for Myles Garrett and really everybody. I mean, who knows? Carson Schlesinger. I'm sure, well, listen, Schlesinger benefits from Mason Graham and Myles Garrett being pretty good up front, first of all, with the rest of that defensive line. I mean, there are many other contributors on the defensive line that I didn't name right there, but I don't know what this defense looks like without Jim Schwartz going forward. And I know that we just couldn't really have a situation where it couldn't be polarizing again, right? You couldn't have the Freddie Kitchens years where the head coach is against this coordinator, that coordinator is, you got whatever. We couldn't have that again. So I think the minute that Schwartz kind of blew up, TK, we knew it was over, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a done deal. We crushed his soul, we broke his heart, we let him amok. I definitely think he felt as if, listen, I'm a big part of keeping this team together as far as the guys not turning on each other. Because, we heard a very, very dejected Grant Delpit speak ahead of their Week 8 matchup against the Miami Dolphins. And he came out and said, look, we really don't know what winning feels like anymore. We're doing our absolute best not to turn on each other in these hard times. But the feeling of winning has been exasperated from the building. Like it's literally been snatched from all of us, and we don't know what it feels like anymore. Well, hopefully we can make some steps into making sure that doesn't happen again, especially with a completely new staff. You don't want new staff, new everything else, but the same drama. So hopefully we'll get better. We'll see.
TK, I've never even been in the building in Berea, but for some reason it just feels like it's hard to breathe there. It feels like it's like the most tense spot to be in the NFL, and it's year after year. It's always there's infighting, there's finger pointing, there's this, there's that. There's the owner causing trouble. There's at least we presume he's not publicly causing trouble anymore. He's for the most part staying behind the scenes. Still likes to stand in front of the press and talk a little bit, but you get to do that when you're on the team. That's fine. But for years we didn't know what Paul DePodesta was doing. We didn't know what Andrew Berry was even really doing as far as how much responsibility he had for the Deshaun Watson trade or even the draft picks. I mean, we just don't know. There's no clear-cut hierarchy, and I think that's something that the Browns have kind of lacked for a long time now, maybe since the Haslams have owned the team. But whatever, we're going to hope for the best going forward. But like I said, to get back to tomorrow, we've got the Sunday Sports Show. We're going to start about 11 o'clock in the morning. Our buddy Ryan Mosser is going to be on. We're going to get back eventually to his algorithm that he built to grade all the draft prospects. We're going to talk draft stuff. We've got nothing but time to talk draft because really in the offseason in Cleveland, I mean, what else is there to talk about other than, coaching staff turnover, what could have been, what should have been, and we can look forward to the draft. That's what we've got here. That's what we do as Browns fans. So join us tomorrow again on the Sunday Sports Show here on the Inside Edge Network. That's going to be about 11 o'clock. We'll run about 2 hours. There's plenty of Super Bowl stuff to cover. Trust me. And we'll even TK, try to think of your favorite Super Bowl commercial looking back. I want to talk to you guys about your favorite Super Bowl commercials of all time. There have been some classic, man, just real classics like the Budweiser, the Clydesdales, or whatever. They'll probably make an appearance this year. Something always wants to. They try to make you sad when you're watching the Super Bowl, right? They try to bring back some nostalgia, make you have some kind of emotional response, right? Especially you never know, it might be like 31-3. Like they got to do something to pull you in. But I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to be a closer game. But
that's not the case this year.
Ooh, yeah, it'll be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game. It could be higher scoring, but I don't think either team's going to blow anybody out. But I do wonder that Sam Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba combo, it's been dangerous all year. We'll see if the Patriots have an answer for that. We'll see how the Seahawks. The Seahawks are pretty good against the run. Like I said, I trust Mike McDonald's defense really against anybody, just from his ability to just tailor a scheme around what he's got and just make something work, man. I mean, he's just so good at being creative on the fly, and man, it's fun to watch. But hey, that's tomorrow on the show. So do not miss that. That is coming up tomorrow at 11 on the Inside Edge Network. Again, as always, we're brought to you by LPV Productions. So I just want to thank everyone. Thank you for watching, and thanks to our guest today, Beaver Eastern head coach Scott Tomlison. Thanks for taking the time to come on. We appreciate that. Like I said, he is now an official friend of the Inside Edge Network. That's a big deal. You want to be a friend of the Inside Edge Network. So please follow us on all social media accounts. We're on where are we? We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. We're probably on MySpace. We got our top 5 friends on MySpace out there. It takes 45 minutes for the page to load because you had the MIDI music, right?
Yeah.
Man, those were the days. I don't know if they were the days or not, but it was fun. Whatever. So again, that's gonna do it for us. Just I don't know. Pay attention to James Harden, see what he does here in Cleveland. TK, real quick before we get off of here, do you think that's it? They're pushing for something in the offseason? Could they be positioning themselves for a LeBron return or possibly a Giannis trade? You think?
They definitely want to make sure that they have enough funds to acquire either LeBron James or Giannis Antetokounmpo or another All-NBA player if need be. But yeah, this is definitely a cap move. We want to be set as much as humanly possible. You talk about the roster or the cap handling and reconstruction of deals that Andrew Berry has done with the Browns. I honestly think Kobe Altman has done 10 times better, light years ahead of Mr. Berry in terms of managing these books. We're going to have north of about $70 million in cap space next year.
All right.
So that's exciting to think about. I don't think Harden gets resigned though after the season. I really don't, unless he's looking to take a deal, or unless we make some type of miracle run this year that sways him to think, what, maybe Cleveland isn't so bad. The strip clubs aren't up to par of what I am used to. But this team is very good, and we have a chance to do something extremely special. So maybe he comes back. My general thought is he doesn't, because he ain't going to come back for no $13 million. Anything less than $25 million for James Harden is probably going to be regarded as a slap in the face to him. Yeah. So, that's more of a wait and see thing.
But the wings are good there, right, TK? The wings are good. And by the way, that brings a whole new meaning to 3 and D, but we don't need to talk about that. I just think, listen, if they get to Game 6 or Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe Harden does come back. Because if there are internal talks, and we don't know, we're not on the inside. Certainly, we don't know. I don't know. I'm speculating that there's probably a little bit of I don't know if you heard Jason Lloyd say the other day on 92.3 The Fan with the morning show that if LeBron James plays anywhere next year, it'll be Cleveland. Don't know how much of an insider Lloyd really is, but I mean that's he's a writer for The Athletic. He would seemingly have some connections and some people that he knows. That was his feeling on the matter, so it makes me feel like there could be a LeBron return, which could make James Harden want to maybe take a little bit less money to stay here. And I know LeBron's going to be 42. I get it. He's not in his prime anymore. We all know that. But I'll take 41, 42 non-prime LeBron James versus a lot of guys in the league at 25, 6 and 6 or whatever, 22, 6, whatever it is. Listen, I'll take that. And just the basketball IQ. I think sometimes people LeBron's a polarizing guy. You either love him or you hate him. And I don't necessarily understand that. Maybe I'm off, but I don't understand not appreciating a talent like LeBron James. Because I think the NBA is going to look sorely different, not for the better, when he retires and he's gone, he's out of the league. He's just what he's done for just the viewership and the watchability of this league for the last 2 decades plus is amazing. So it'd be fun to see him end his career in Cleveland. Maybe he's got a year or 2 left in the tank. And maybe that convinces Giannis to go to the Bucks and say, hey, send me to Cleveland. I mean, Giannis is a pretty deep guy, right? He's some of his I would love to see Giannis as now the press conference answers could be local, right? It'd be a Cleveland guy. I love listening to Giannis speak, man. Just like he's so just introspective and just everything is so well thought out. I love to hear sometimes what's on his mind. I think that'd be a lot more fun if we had him local. We could probably start almost every show with a Giannis quote, right? He's had some just gold from his press conferences. So just that alone, obviously he's a top 5 player in the NBA, if not better. So that'd be good on the court too. So we'll see. Dream going forward. We'll see what happens. You never know, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll all the shows here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll keep an eye and we'll keep you up to date on everything. Again, not going to happen this year. It's going to be in the offseason if it happens. Trade deadline is come and gone, and that's okay. You can't expect Milwaukee to just unload a guy like Giannis for whatever anybody's offering, right? They're going to take time and make sure they get the best haul back for him, and that's perfectly fine. So, if we can team up Giannis and Donovan Mitchell and James Harden and some guy named LeBron. I heard he's from Akron. He's local. He had a decent career. He could be fun here, right? Has he ever played in Cleveland before? Has he played a game here even as a visitor? We don't know. No, that'll be fun to see. Again, I do want to say I'm sad to see Darius Garland go. We didn't even take a break today, TK. We went an hour and 11 minutes straight through without taking a break. I was just so riveted by the story. I don't know how you build anything like that from the ground up. I'm so impressed with what Coach Tomlison did down at Beaver Eastern.
Yeah, that was definitely impressive.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally had him on the show. I've been talking about it for a while. It's caught my eye for quite some time. I've watched his wife post on social media, and I'm like, man, like they're doing some things down there. That's pretty impressive. I love when the small schools have that rise up like that, and they're among the best. So that's fun to see. But that's it for us. We're gonna get off here today. Again, just thank you to our guest, Beaver Eastern head football coach Scott Tomlison. Thanks for taking your time to come on to the show today. And for TK Dandridge, I'm Chad Bryan. This is another episode of Illegal Formation. We will see you tomorrow at 11-ish, around 11 for the Sunday Sports Show. Wall-to-wall Super Bowl. We may briefly get into some Browns coaching stuff on the top, but then we're going to switch gears and go all big game. We're going to talk Super Bowl 60 from Levi's Stadium out in Santa Clara. We'll get our picks. We'll talk about prop bets. We'll talk about matchups. We'll talk about Drake May. We'll talk about Sam Darnold's resurgence. We'll talk about our guy Jackson Smith and Jigba. We got Travion Henderson. I mean, just a few Buckeyes are going to play. So we've got all kinds of the local stuff to get into, regional, whatever you want to call it. And we'll just, like I said, tomorrow will be pretty much wall-to-wall Super Bowl. So do not miss that tomorrow at 11. We will see you then. TK, have a good Saturday, man.
You too, brother. Be safe.
All right, guys. We'll see you.